guys, so I don't know if any of you guys are already subscribed to AKILAH'S, but if you haven't already, please go do so, and please go watch the video that I'm linked to here before watching the rest of this video, because that way you can have some context. So now that you've watched that video and know what I'm talking about, here we go. I'm not entirely sure how many of you have actually heard this story before or not, but there was a time in high school when I could have died. And it all started when I was a junior in high school, so I was about 16, and I started getting really, really sleepy and really, really weak. So I started losing muscle mass and I started losing weight for seemingly no reason. The summer before senior year, I went camping with my parents and I couldn't actually climb to the top bunk of the bed because it was bunk beds and I couldn't lift myself up. So my mom was like, there's something seriously wrong here. Like, you're not that weak. So over the course of the next few months, I underwent several tests. I went to different doctors. They thought it might be lupus. There was like a doctor that said I was just low in cortisol. All amongst this, I was getting really, really bad, like what looked like psoriasis everywhere. I would just get like red and flaky, and I would like lose layers of skin off of my legs per day. It was kind of gross. It was kind of disgusting. But at the end of all of this, it was like December of 2006. It was the December of my senior year of high school, so it was already like a really crazy time in my life, you know? So I ended up going to Children's Hospital in Seattle for 9 days and getting a ton of tests on me. They concluded at the end of the 9 days that I had something called Wong's dermatomyositis. Dermatomyositis means inflammation of the muscles in the skin, and Wong's was just some like offshoot of it. It was like a different form of it. There was also like antibodies of like scleroderma that I had and other various things that they found out that I had. At the time, I didn't realize how scary it was because I was a senior in high school and I really didn't have any sort of context of how fucking terrifying it was. Now, like 10 years later, oh god, it's almost 10 years later, I realize how scary it was, and I realize how much it actually affected me after the fact. Like, I'm much more cautious now, maybe done more than my doctor would have liked me to have done. Later years in life, after I got sick, I didn't drink until I was about 24, and basically my doctor told me that I couldn't drink a lot because I have to be extra nice to my liver because of some of the medications I'm on. And right after I got sick, I got put on prednisone, like a shit ton of prednisone for like a year and a half. I'll include a little picture of how poofy I was. This is how bloated my face was after I got sick. So that's fucking weird. Why am I making this video now? Well, when I heard that Akilah got sick and I heard about everything that happened to her, I can't imagine how scary it is being like an adult. Like, if I'd gotten sick right now, like being on my own, I don't know what I would have done. A, I'm not on my parents' wonderful insurance anymore, and B, I have so many other things that I have to worry about. Like, I have work and I have friends and I have the music blog I write for. I have a relationship. Watching her video reminded me of that and reminded me of how terrified I was and how terrified my parents were. My heart is a muscle, and like my disease could have gotten to my heart and it could have like attacked it. It had only gotten to like my superficial muscles at that point. It hadn't really gotten to any of my internal organs. The fact that Akilah is having to go into surgery for her liver, I can't fathom it, and it scares the shit out of me just thinking about if that had happened to me now. And it reminded me, I actually, see if I can find it here on my computer. Apparently May is Lyme Disease Awareness Month. My disease doesn't affect me on a daily basis the way that Lyme disease does, and it doesn't just randomly pop back the way that it does. It's pretty scary because people don't usually think of it when they're getting diagnosed with weird diseases, and granted, nobody really thought of dermatomyositis when they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I wrote a chapter in my book as a letter to Kyle Morton of Typhoon. That is relevant because Kyle has Lyme disease, and their last record, White Lighter, means a lot to me in that same sense, like me just thinking about life and me just kind of reflecting on like the way that my decisions affect myself later in life and the people around me. And I wanted to read a little excerpt from that chapter because I haven't read you guys anything in a while. Granted, I haven't really written much in a while that isn't for like my job or my blog. I've spent so much of my life being afraid of being insignificant, and for a long time I thought that meant that I wanted to be famous or to be published or to be known as someone who made a difference. Honestly, what the fuck does that even mean? And I only just realized what I'm actually afraid of. I'm afraid of being forgotten. I'm afraid that my life will have not had a lasting effect on anyone. I'm afraid of leaving this earth without creating some sort of rift in the metaphorical universe. And it's occurred to me that I've spent my whole life starting over. I hope to God that I won't die before I give it an honest try. Those are lyrics from Typhoon. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for making me believe that I'm not insignificant and that I can't just wait for things to happen to me, but to do it myself. Thank you for White Lighter. I hope the spell is finally broken, and just so you know, you'll never be a silence to this listener. That's what I wrote to Kyle. I don't know if I'm going to actually send it to him or not. I might, I don't know. Basically the purpose of this video, you should go donate to AKILAH'S GoFundMe and research about Lyme disease, because it's very under-researched and it doesn't get nearly the coverage that it should, because it's scary and usually people don't think about it because you get it by being bit by a tick. Like a tick. Like, who fucking thinks of that? Like, oh, how'd you get sick? I got bit by a fucking tick. This is for anybody who's ever been scared of not knowing what's happening, basically, because when I got sick, it was terrifying and it was stressful, and I don't know what I would have done had I not been in high school and under the care of my parents. So AKILAH, I hope everything goes well with the surgery. I really do. I feel for you so hard. Like, when I watched your video and when I saw you posting about it, I was like it gave me shivers, because I'm like, if I was sick now, I don't know what I would have done. I hope surgery goes well, and I hope you guys, if you haven't checked out AKILAH'S stuff yet, please do, because she's really funny. Like, she makes comedy videos and she's really clever, so check her out because she's rad. And go read about Lyme disease because it's kind of scary and kind of weird, and usually you don't know if you have it. So, what song can be your song of the day? The Lake by Typhoon. This song actually Kyle wrote about when he got bit by a tick, when it all happened, so please go listen to it. It's pretty rad. I love that band more than most other bands. I would say there's only probably like 4 or 5 bands that I like more than them, maybe, if I had to choose. Yeah.